Hello, it says I'm live. That means I'm live. And I'm 2 seconds in. I think I started talking at the right time. Gonna wait for people to get here. And by that usually, if you've seen my streams before, means I vamp about being at the gym or whatever else. So let's see if I get everything straightened out here. I need to mute that. Playback. There we go. See who else is here. Nobody yet, of course. It's midnight, or it's really 5 after midnight. Tuesday morning, which is Monday night. And I have stuff all over the place. I've been trying to edit together an intro. So I've got like a little bit of it. I spent so much time trying to find clips that I did not know where they were. And it turns out I had the wrong version of a video downloaded and got the name wrong. But I'm putting clips together to try and get you guys an intro other than just me peeling the orange. I want to incorporate some things together with that, like the Stoltman brothers, and maybe go get some jujitsu like arm breaks happening, car crashes, everything falling apart. That's my shtick. That's what I want to do for my streams. Oh man, I have a lot of windows open from exactly that, trying to find clips. Oh my goodness, I have everything open. Excuse me, I need to close a few things. Let's see, close all windows. Close. Yep. Okay, good. And I can leave that alone. All right. Oh boy. Got a lot going on. Anyway, welcome to my channel. Welcome back to my channel. Tonight, we're going to look at some Randall Rozzell. I think that's how you say his name, instead of Rozzell, but I think it's Rozzell. We're going to look at a couple of books that he's got. So let's see if I can bring that up soon before I start opening packages, and talk a little bit, while anybody is showing up, about whatever happened in the gym this week, because that's always fun. Let's see, share screen, window. Do I have tabs? No. Window. Uh-oh. I've got a ton of windows. This is going to be rough. It's not showing me the windows I want. Why does it do this to me? Just why? I'm going to have to close a bunch of stuff. Let's see. Close these. Close these. Great. So anyway, I learned about ADHD stuff and how things happen at the last minute, usually because you're just completely disorganized. Let's see. No, I don't want that. Yeah, I can't get the window I want. Cancel. Try again. All right. Well, anyway, I've been editing stuff together, and we'll just put this in here to show you, I guess, some of what I had in mind.
Хоча покажу, як кожен спортсмен піднімає логліфт. Можемо почати з T-Rex.
Anyway, my rough cut is compressed completely wrong in MPEG 4. This is such a disappointment. I am sorry. That is terrible. Okay, remove this from the studio. That's just embarrassing. All right, so I got more windows to close. Let's see if I can get back the thing I want. Share screen, window, and I bet it's because I have certain things minimized. Let's try that. If I go to these two windows, and then, yeah, okay, I apologize. It's because I had stuff minimized. So this one's really funny. Somebody is responding to other people saying, every time I picture this guy, I'm sorry, why do I picture this guy, the guy shown, every time I read Blue Samurai's tweets? And I think a lot of this is because it's not just that I can be a little bit didactic, but when I'm asking questions and stuff online, I'm trying to get just straightforward information, if you know what I mean. And this came up in the midst of a whole bunch of let's just get the story straight. Somebody was making accusations at a friend of mine, and that's fine. But when my friend kind of spouts off at the mouth, and then everybody asks him questions, which I think is totally appropriate, and so sometimes he can't answer the questions because he's legally not allowed to show things. So here's the thing: is if you can't show if you can't show what backs up the thing you say, you don't say it in the first place. That's my deal. But I decided it was very fair to ask other people the same questions when they make accusations at my friend, and nobody liked that. Like, everybody is political. It's all about teams. It's not about, appropriate, everybody playing by the same rules. And so after whatever idiot I was questioning blocked me, cussed me out from behind a block, somebody else showed me that, etc. Then this popped up in my mentions, and somebody else had to show me that I was being cussed out, and which I thought was stupid and immature. Like, I'll block you and then cuss about you. Okay, uh, but anyway, this thing popped up, which is, I think, hilarious. Next, we're going to have. All right, so I got to present a different screen. Let's see. Stop that one. Share screen. I'll bring that guy back on for when I talk about the gym, if I do. And we're looking at, I believe, this one. Please be this one. Share. Yep, that's the one. Okay, so I can see this. We're going to look at Deathstream Kingdom. This is the number 1 and 2 campaign, but we're actually going to look at the book tonight too. So that should be good. And at first, of course, I got to open mail, and I got to share screen again. So stop. Bring another one back. Okay, this dude again. So there he is. All right. So this week in jiu-jitsu, man, it was interesting. And this is just vamping for people to filter in. But man, it was kind of interesting. So we're doing a specific leg attack class, and normally if you tangle up with somebody and the two of you are seated by each other, kind of like this. All right, the person who's on top nearer the body, that would be this guy. He's the one who's saddle or 411, or there are other names for it. Cross ashi. Ashi is a leg entanglement, but the cross ashi, he's the one who's dominant in this position because he can reach over and then attack this guy's leg, represented by my middle finger. So the guy with the top finger leg here will attack this leg primarily. If you're beyond white belt, of course, then there's all kinds of things you can do, and this is just ripe for knee barring somebody. So anyway, we were doing that, and after class, I of course spar with a few people, and I sparred with one of our black belts. Holy cow, that was an experience. Coming back from the injuries with the biceps, I've been, which are getting better, and whatever was going on here is getting better too with the weird skin I had. It turned out to be something else that just triggered a bunch of eczema, but it was gross. Oops, I'm on the wrong menu. That's me. There we go. Him. We want that. Wrestling with one of the rolling with one of the black belts. It was. I'm not used to rolling with him. We usually don't work together. And at one point from underneath, I did get a butterfly on him to pick him up. And when you pick up the opponent like this and try to leg entangle from there, I think I had him up in the air for almost 10 seconds, which is an enormous amount of time. Just me trying to get my feet in the right place, absolutely screwing that up. And regardless of his skill, I was screwing it up. And then with his skill, him trying other things. So it was an interesting day in class. Learned a lot that day. Anyway, but yeah, we got a black belt. He's a pretty good, cool guy, local PT student. And let's see. All right. So now that I'm done being this dude, talking about my gym my gym activities, we can move on from there. All right. So I am gonna just jump in and open some mail. Let's see. Remove. Oh, good, you're gone. So, and I do have a couple things to check on. All right. Stop sharing. There we go. Where did I put the mail? Oh, yeah, updates from this past week. So I actually found, there we go. I actually found a nice bag to keep this guy in, and it works even under the plastic. My mouse moves around, but really I just want to keep it nice. I'm not going to be using it as a mouse pad. To me, it's a piece of art. Just want to keep it covered up. There's that. Set that aside. Okay. We're going to look at 2 books later. These are just on top of the stack. These are the books we're going to look at before we look at the black and white horror book that I flashed on the screen a minute ago. So we'll get to that. Then, so this, nope, that's our second one. I want to make sure I had people's addresses. I got one funky thing in the mail. Yeah, face down. There we go. And it was kind of funny. I opened it up at work. So apparently it's from Hex Allen. And I got this envelope with a postcard in it, but I didn't notice the note right away. And the note is just, hey, sorry, I forgot to include this, which means his thing was showing up soon, and it did. So that came. I'll just leave that. Busty ladies on a spaceship. That's the Hex Allen thing. I don't know if you want to count that as an opening, but there it is. All So I am, in fact, missing books. And hey, Mo Biggs, how's it going? Uh-oh, I got the wrong window showing here. Let's just give you a proper hello. There you go. Now my chat will show up properly by me putting messages in it. I hope you're doing well, Mo. Let's see. This, I know, is from Alterna Comics, and I have to open it because I'm missing some books. In space, no one can hear you, Cream. Mm-hmm. Yes. No one hears you disturbing the cows. So, what am I doing with my fingers? Where's the knife? Found it. All right. So I know this is from Alterna. Thank you, Peter Smetty. He doesn't watch my channel, but whatever. With that, oh man, why did I peel it instead of just cutting it? I'm a bit jumbled tonight. I was editing video a minute ago. There we go. I can't find some of my books. So I need... I'm great. How are you, brother? I'm okay. Rough start to the stream. I have a barely cut together intro I'm starting to make, and it did not render. So I tried to play it, and that can be good life advice. At least in the right circumstances, do not bend, correct? So the rough cut of the intro I wanted to play didn't even save correctly to play back as MPEG 4. It was a data mess. There we go. So this is from Peter Smetty. I need to open it tonight because it's like 3 weeks old, and I can't find some books. I'm missing books in my house. Literally, I have no idea where they are. So I want to make sure he didn't send them to me before I go and order more. They should be here because I know I've seen them, and they came in a bundle where I have other books from the bundle. So that's just weird. So what are we fulfilling here? Okay. It's Blood Realm. Is it just Blood Realm? What is in here? Mo, how do you make it around to all the channels? Hey, how you doing, Dean? Dean's watching. Yeah, just for safety, take the tape all the way off. We're good. So since you guys are a little bit late, I get the right window. I had to show off being mocked earlier, which was great. Mo, you'll like this. You'll love it. I thought of you. This is how somebody... I thought of you, but this is how someone thinks of me. There you go. Good day, Dean. Everybody saying hello. All right, so where we got? Keep an eye out for the hamburger's cousin, the book crook. You and your clean jokes. Oops. Makes me feel special when you speak Australian to me. All right, so we've got the usual thank you with take a picture, get on Twitter, and I'll give you a code. His own special backer boards. I can remove that now. There we are. He's like, I didn't picture you as overweight. Actually, you have a lot less muscle and people have a lot less muscle and a lot more fat than we think. But yeah, I could stand to lose what looks like 10 pounds from what I've seen. But if you could, that's just my gut. If you go full body, it's probably like 20. So anyway, I don't picture you as overweight. I get what he's going for with the half shirt, though. It seems like something you'd wear if I didn't slut shame you. Your slut shaming has improved my life. You can clip that if you want. All right, so what do we got? We got trading cards. Cool, and then we'll get to the books in a moment. All right, trading cards. Let's see. All right. I always backed in like an incorrect way and would miss out on these shiny ones. So I'm glad I got this time. The Legend of Log. It's a cover. Or it's from a cover, I think. A bit shiny. And then from Mr. Crypt, there's Baron Rat. And then Red Koi. I forgot his name. is Swan King, right? Because he was in his own book first. So trading cards, cool. I love trading cards, and I like how he did these so that they line up and give you a little. There's a little graphic that goes together, so they make a page, and he planned those out ahead of time. So that's real cool. Thanks, Peter. All right, I got to set things aside in a safe place. So I think this is the Blood Realm fulfillment. Maybe. Nope. It looks like in order. Yeah, here we go. So we've got Blood Realm. Pardon me. A little bit cluttered. Wolf and Batsy. Downcast number 7. Red Koi. Horace H. Hoover. Never heard of that one before. And Can't Kill Cade. All right. So if you guys do want me to open one specific, please just pop it up in the chat. I'll do that. And I got to rotate the photo I'm on. Okay, cool. One day I will do something for Alterna. I hope so. And I'm glad I caught a little quick stream that Clint did like a month ago. I need water. Uh-oh. There's no water here. But he had to explain to people why he was no longer being printed on Alterna. So if you do something for Alterna, I hope the same thing doesn't happen to you. But it's really simple and it's very innocent what happened, because people were concerned. Why why are you and other people off of Alterna now? There was no controversy. A book has to have X many sales. As you can tell, I get bundles for basically buy everything every month. But if the books don't have enough sales, then of course you can't keep printing it. It's just basic business. Most of us who are fans of Downcast and Clint Stoker's work otherwise, because he has other work besides Downcast, at least now he does, very few are going to buy the Alterna books because we already have them. We already have the big version. So sales for that might be smaller. So if you're going to do stuff for Alterna, I hope you can get hired doing a different story that you haven't already put out as a crowdfund, or as a trade paperback or graphic novel, whatever. Because then Alterna will get more sales and maybe be able to afford to keep you on. But that's the reason why Downcast, and I forget what the other one was, not T-Bird and Throttle, they're printing through Alterna, but Downcast had to be stopped on Alterna because of sales going down. Now I just read this, not the one you're looking at, but the trade paperback of it before this showed up, and I think Clint is really, hitting above his weight in terms of storytelling. He's doing a good job. I kind of guessed what's going to happen with this bird creature you see down here, and it turned out what happened. So, like, why are there 3 of them, and where are they coming from? But in terms of just giving us character, giving us a little bit of story to grow the character, and following the main motivations of our main character, and not trying to follow every thread of every character, it was really good. So I'll talk about his book more some other day. Yeah, but it looks like it printed a little bit dark on the newsprint, which is fine. It's a very dark scene. So, in fact, I kind of like the brown tone here a little more than where it was elsewhere. So here's her brother showing some character growth, saying that he finally listened to somebody. That's growth. All right, there we are. Okay, one day I was just thinking, be an artist for a cover or something. Yeah, that's really cool. But I did want to say that thing about Alterna is not evil just because a few people aren't there anymore. I know some weird rumors went around, but squash those. So what else we got? The Horace H. Hoover thing is, so let's just take a quick flip in that, and then maybe Blood Realm. So, by the way, there's like a 30-second delay between you guys typing and it showing up in my StreamYard. Yeah, I don't know what this is. It's nice to see green, though. Some pretty basic layout stuff. Okay. I'd re-show my intro so I can go grab water, except that my intro doesn't play. The video file's all jacked. I can see my water from here. All right, give me a moment. Let's see. And there it is. Okay, back in a moment. All right, I just assumed Pete was tired of dealing with all the blowback from Clint's hot-headed verbal bomb throwing and controversial statements. You know, I will call Clint gentle, but I won't call him milquetoast. He's gentle and he's level-headed. I like the guy. Huh. Okay. Something big happening. A tentacle grabbing what looks like a house? I'm going to have to read that. All right, and we'll glance a little bit at Blood Realm, and then I'll move on. This is weird. It's number 11. I have one of the originals where it was Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, and then it was Volume 3, Number 3, and then there's another copy of that has number 9 on it. So if you ever see one where it has the volumes for 1 through 1 through 3 each of what became 1 through 9, grab it. It's kind of a collector's item. That sense. Oh, hey, a lot more red and a lot less black this time. It is called Blood Realm after all. So let's see, this arc is called Godslayer. I remember reading the beginning of Blood Realm, the first 3 issues. It just gave me such a dark feeling. Hey, Crazy Mad. How you doing? There you go. Oops. There we are. Yeah, it just gave me such a dark feeling while I was reading it. Like I was looking at evil things. And I don't mean the book. I mean the whole idea that the elements in the book, evil characters, of course. But I felt that book, man. There was something weird about it. So. But that's what horror is supposed to be. I have to catch up on reading this one, though. Yep. If Blood Realm were any darker in tone, Bancroft would harass it until it fled his neighborhood. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay, that took me a moment. So we're calling Bancroft racist now. Got it. Well, he is pretty close to China, severed demon heads here. Yeah, dark, like this guy. All right. Okay, I'm going to set the alternate pile aside gently, and hopefully I won't, wrinkle the covers. So. All right, this is sort of the book of the evening. So. I gotta wash this knife just in case it's got anything sticky on it. Crazy Mad, thanks for coming by. All right, check for packing slip. No, all right, we're good. Oh, hey, I got a sticker of the cute little weird squid person. That's Zed. Nicely packaged. Oops, got my fingers in there. Come here, Zed. There we go. I shouldn't call Zed like a dog because Zed is a sentient being more than a dog. Anyway, Death's Dream Kingdom. This is one of the characters, Zed. And I'll show you in a minute somebody having a nightmare of Zed being murdered. Oh, hey, Randall. I guess now is a good time to confess. I read so many books before I can review them. I kind of have to reread them or refreshen myself on them just so the review has anything in it to make it worthwhile. But I first read this as a PDF, so I've already seen all this. So I can show you the art, but I can also, let's see, bring this up. Where is it? Hope this works. Present arms? No. Window. Wrong one. Oh, there it is. Here we go. Move that over so I can see. I can't see the chat now. All right, so this is our PDF. I need to rock it back up to the top. There we are. Little zoomed in, as you can tell. But I initially read this as a PDF. So here's the cover I got, which you saw right there. And then, so this way, what's your name, Mo? We're not playing the game of Cataract Test Theater on my stream with the crappy camera. All right, so here is a different cover there. Let me zoom that out a little bit for you guys. There you go. So you got a different cover there. And then this cover, which just creeped me out so much because when I first saw it, I thought the finger was in the mouth, and that was just, oh. Anyway, here we go. So this book actually starts with an introduction. Make sure that's actually in here. Oh, come on. Try not to wrinkle things. Nice double page spread. Yeah, it's in there, just like that. And so it says, the planet of Roa, R-O-A-H, or no, Ra, R-A-A-H, suffered through a global war against a horrific race called the Threxus. Sounds like people from Texas, except worse. And I like the thoracic association there, but the Threxus. They attacked from within first, stealing the planet's energy. Wonder how they did that. And its people's dreams, leaving their victims with nightmares. As the planet's population grew weak and insane, the Threxus swarmed the world like a plague and decimated cities, continents, and ecosystems. So, hey, Corey Barton, how you doing? Nice to see you here. Chat moved. There it is. It's like the Skeksis, but there's 3 of them. Oh, now I understand. Oh, thank you, Mo. All right, anyway. The war was fought for years, and after the planet fell into darkness, Ra, that is AA, yeah, that is. Ra found a way to overload the Threxus, nearly eradicating their entire race. Okay, when I first read this, I thought that was really cool, to overload them. Hey, Jay. To overload the Threxus. And it's like, wait, how did you overload them? That's because they're stealing people's dreams when they sleep to get energy from them. Like, how does that work? That's got to be really cool. Anyway, now Captain Jessica Antilles and her crew have been tasked with finding a new home for their people. They pilot the last sentient vessel named Grey Vulcan, which is funny because that means gray people, which is like what aliens are. We know the grays. Anyway, hello and hello. Good to see you. All right, and they travel through dimensions searching for hope. On board with them is one of the Threxus, a creature powering their journey. So there's a whole bunch of world building in here that isn't quite explained, but I don't mind. And I know I used to have what's his name, Neff on the stream, where he minded certain things being not explained. And oh, thank you. Anyway, he minded certain things not being explained or not being explained yet in a series, and so I differ with that quite a bit. But these are cool. It tells me there's a deeper world going on. And as a critic, that kind of tells me I put a little more faith in the author for that kind of thing, where we're looking at this. Oh, nice paper. I wonder if because of where this came from, Kablam, if this is print on demand, but I don't know. But I like the feel of the paper, so that's cool. Anyway, if you get to the back of the book, before I start getting into this in any depth, this book is a real experiment in art. Hope I'm not making you nauseated. he talks about the making of a little bit. I won't read you the whole paragraph here, sorry. But he's been a graphic design artist for 20 years, and then he was introduced to Midjourney and AI. And so this book is made from AI art that he has deliberately modified. So it's not an completely AI book. He took control, he took the reins apparently, and he gave an example here at the back of a ton of images that he had generated in order to pick from them and modify them to make one of the fight scenes that he has in here. So that's pretty cool. So I don't mind the AI aspect of it because he's really, a lot of Photoshop, he says. So start with a little bit of AI and then throw a lot of Photoshop at it. It's still the artist's hand guiding everything. It's not just, push a button and crank through it. So a little bit about the story. Hope I'm not making everybody nauseated. There we go. We're introduced in narration from Jessica here. It is Jessica. By the way, because I read so many books at a time, I'm really bad with names. So yeah, Jessica Antilles. He builds his world a little bit slowly for us. I'm just going to close this and we'll deal with the PDF. He builds the world a little bit slowly by her narration, how things are difficult with saying goodbye and leaving loved ones behind and all that. And it turns out they have time gaps because of the way that they travel. And now look at this nice double page spread. I think this is pretty cool looking. Let's see. I'm sorry, I had a side thought that'll come up later. But their living ship, how is it living? I don't know, but that's okay. If it needs to come up later, like Chekhov's gun, if he mentioned it, if it's okay to leave alone, but if it has to come up later that the ship is somehow alive, we'll get there. Might say the artist was a hollow man. You can. Okay. By the way, when I get nervous like I am, guys, I don't always follow exactly what you mean, Mo. It takes me a little longer. So, all right, back to the art. Yeah, the ship is alive. That's cool. This ruined city looks really cool, I think. And then we get to conversations. This is Zed down here, the one from the sticker. Okay, the cute one. And Zed is, I misread this at first thinking Zed was one of the Threxus, but no, Zed is a different species. We get told that later. And he's a species from a planet that the Threxus already destroyed. Through conversation, I don't think it was very forced. I'm finding more of this lately, that the authors are not forcing us to hear everybody's name on the first 2 pages. And it's okay to give us a little information at a time. I thought that was laid out pretty well. Grey Vulcan comes home. There are time jumps. A lot of their conversations mention these time jumps, like you look older, etc. Let's see. The title Death's Dream Kingdom is, I'm assuming, a reference to T.S. Eliot's The Hollow Man. Ooh, I don't know about that. I'm not well read enough. All right. But Randall's here, so. Pardon me? So overall, issue 1 being 32 pages. Yes, it is. Okay. So T.S. Eliot's Hollow Man is a reference in Death's Dream Kingdom. All right. It's 32 pages. It's mostly just them landing and finding out about their next mission, that because things are degrading so fast on their planet, they have to go out again. So there's a lot of talking, talking heads like this. It's not, I don't think it's to the detriment. You get the story through the conversations. So the art, I think, is still telling. We still get a feel for the world. So it's not like the art is wasted. This isn't where I can't even make dad jokes on this channel anymore. Yes, I'm not educated enough. Sorry. Anyway, the art isn't wasted in terms of where people sit down and have they just talk in a coffee shop for 18 pages and it's 9 panels of just faces on every page. That's a waste. I think Blue has been popping vitamin C. Maybe. Oh, you mean cocaine? No, I'm not on cocaine. But here we finally see one of the Threxus, and he's in some kind of container. So what happens in all these conversations? People are getting reacquainted with where they came from. She's finding out that there are going to be some changes to her crew. And, of course, she's not very fond of that. There are a lot of echoes where in space nobody can hear you dream. There are some echoes to the film Alien and Aliens in this. You can kind of tell. So here Zed is still working on the ship, getting things ready. And we take a little time, almost one at a time, to get to know each character. So I forget most of these names. I'm sorry. I think I read this like a month and a half ago. Let's see. This was a tough issue between use of AI and building the story before any real action can happen. Yeah, building the background of the story. Now, in the film Alien, they didn't do character development straight away. What they did, moving around, what they did was you got character development as everybody's being killed off. So that was sort of weird. And this is a little bit more like Aliens, where we got to get a little snapshot of many characters all at once. Remember, this is the first issue and it's 32 pages. So we got a small snapshot of each character, a little, and I think that they're thorough enough for what it was. And she's training here. I think if I remember what I thought when I read it, she's training here sort of to work out some of her own demons, to get past her own emotional troubles from traveling through dimensions, trying to find a new homeworld for her planet. It is a big burden when you put it that way. So there's some training there. I did have a little trouble with one of the characters that I mixed up being the guy with the beard, and I mistook him for being someone else at a certain point, but that got cleared up pretty quick. So there's a good job here of keeping, other than my own mistake. Bear in mind, everybody, Randall, everybody here knows or should know that I read books when I'm falling asleep, so that's tough too. That's probably why I mix things up. Anyway, each character is physically distinct despite the slight variations from the AI and some of the facial fixes that they get. Like, don't mix up this lady here on the left with our main character here, also on the left. As far as I recall. Wait, am I oh god, I don't remember anything wrong. But are these two different people? I think they're different people. You know what? That's what 6 weeks since then, reading 4 other books since then, will do to you. So my apologies if I just screwed that up. But as far as while you're tracking through, even with small variations in the faces like you see on this page, it was easy enough just to keep track of everybody. He made them visually distinct. Normally in superhero books, you get that with like a mask. Oh, I got it right. Okay, they are different people. Here's the third double page spread. And so then finally, and look, you can see things over here turning to horror. Finally, towards the end of the book, they're going out on their next mission. It's pretty much humanity's last hope. The lead has short hair and the other woman has long hair. Right. Yes. Okay. Thank you. And everybody seems to have demons. Like, everybody's got something going on deeper. And so you get a flavor, and this is something I'm really critical of in books, is give me at least two aspects of a character. I think Berserk actually did this in the first chapter of that manga. Sorry, Mo, had to mention a manga. So please don't vomit. But I'm seeing single color characters come out like in Fiendish, and that book was terrible. This book looks really cool, great concept, and executed impressively, says Pat Vale. So thank you on behalf of Randall. Where we get a character, but we get one aspect of them, like character is angry. Hey, Skip. How you doing? So the whole idea of character is angry is the only thing we see. No good. With each of these characters in an ensemble cast, the ones that matter, like maybe not this guy because he's being left behind on the planet, we sense, a couple of emotions, a couple of different, they want something from life, but everybody's feeling down and has something else going on. So it made people more interesting. All right, let's get this scrolling down a little bit. I'm not making you dizzy. So they want to start out on their next mission. Okay, a bit more talking. They're all setting up, and people criticize this talking head thing, but if this is going to be a character study series, then that's what you need. I don't know if it's going to be a character study series. So, it's supposed to be a horror book. I'm thinking Alien and Aliens. And here we are now again for our Threxus, who is imprisoned here. I'm focusing on him because of the preview for number 2. And that's what he looks like. There he is. That's our big reveal at the end of the book. So, let's see. Yeah, we are endless. We must consume. Little ominous ending there. And then we're on to part 2. Now, I do expect less from books that are floppies, but I think Randall here really delivered in terms of giving me a book that's interesting that I want to continue with, even if it wasn't all the stuff that people, I don't know, people look for in terms of, they want lots and lots of plot points and lots of fights, and you can't do that all in 32 pages. But he did hit. I don't know, how do I say this? He hit all the I can't think of the word. He he hit all the facets he needed to get us drawn into the characters. Because if I don't care about the characters, I'm not going to want to read number 2. Quite simply. And the ending there also shows that one of the crew members releases the Threxus from its cage. Yeah, okay. I didn't quite want to spoil that by reading it out loud, but yes, that is what it shows. All right. I expect less from floppies. What if the story is a grower, not a shower? Exactly. A shower. A shower? A grower, not a shower. All right. But hey, Randall, it's your book. If you want to spoil it, that's fine. But yes, it says you're free now, free to take over. The ship is yours. When I read that, I had no idea if this was something that they normally do to and don't spoil this part. These are just questions I had. Is this something they normally do when they need the Threxus to power the ship? Because somehow it's mentioned that that's how things work. Again, I read this like 6 weeks ago. Or is this, like what is this? So I'm left with a question there. But it's similar to how I was left with a question at the end of Whitaker Knox, which is another book I'll get to real quick. I forget if I have PDFs of Whitaker Knox, but I hope you guys like this whole showing via PDF so that it's a little bit more clear. Anyway, and then here's a nice closing piece of art to preview book 2. We get an image indicating the ship and this horror skull background thing going on. So that's just about this book. I did like it and why it drew me in. So there you go. I almost want to say any questions. So, being alone on a stream, I start to feel like I talk too much. So anyway, so there's that one. Now I forget which one I read first. Whitaker Knox. I think I read Deathstream Kingdom first as a PDF on my little tablet, which is not here. So we'll switch gears real quick. Take a break from that. Where am I? Stop screen. There we go. Take a break from that real quick. So I got some other things in the mail just to break the rhythm before we change books. I have no problem with books coming not in Gemini mailers. All right. And as you can see, the book I got today, which was, where did I put it? I just put the book down somewhere nice and gentle. Oh, yeah. This book, as you can see, Randall sent things out in Gemini mailers. So, but I'm okay with getting some books like this. Let's see what he says. I don't mind a PDF review, but I'd probably add a warning that people who get car sick should just listen and not watch. Okay. That's why I don't show my face. Shrink that right there. I'm not really using that one much. Okay. When I get a book in an envelope, it can be okay. A lot of times it'll get through the post just fine because it's thin enough and it's lightweight enough. However, when I got these, they were both, see how it's got a little sticky here? Both of these were, oh, come on. Now it's tearing the paper. Didn't do that before. There we go. They were both open. And not only were they open, but the comic flaps from inside were actually on the tape here. So I have no idea what I was actually supposed to get. I could go look it up. I just haven't. Yes, I covered myself up here. I thought I was never going to get these books because they disappeared in the mail. And then trying to talk to the guy was like, some artists, and this is a multi-person organization, but some artists don't have a lot of sense. So I got these opened, like the flaps were open, and I didn't look in this one until just as I was preparing for the show. So here's a book, and it's got tape on it, but here are empty bag and boards for other books. Yeah, 3 other books that are just empty bags and boards. I don't know if he just threw those in there to keep this book from bending. That might be the case. I don't know. I think I was supposed to get at least one more book, because this is a number 2 and I should have a number 1. And then there's one book in here, and that's it. I could have been expecting up to 5 books. So if an entire book bag and board fell out, like, I don't know. Oh, let's see. Mo Biggs. I covered myself up here. I'm glad you finally started taking viewer feedback into account. Yes, I'm no longer naked on my streams. Thank you, Mo. I don't have the lap hijab today. I could look for here. I have an extra mouse pad. I'll just there's my lap hijab. Be happy. Anyway, so this was kind of a problem. I don't mind things being sent in an envelope like this, but please make sure you seal it properly. Somehow this was not sealed properly. I don't know how. And it was thrown in the mail. Things got opened. Stuff fell out, apparently, probably from both. I'm not sure why I have 3 empty bags and boards. It's a mystery. Anyway, so I appreciate the earnestness of at least getting me the books that I was supposed to get quite some time ago. But that's a problem. Okay. Sorry to deliver bad news. I know it's not pleasant. I thought I should do an opening again before I, just to break the rhythm before I do the next books. Okay. So Whitaker Knox. Oops, wrong book. Whitaker Knox came out first from. Oh yeah. For those who don't get the reference, when Richard Meyer sent out books with no covering on them, like no plastic bag, a sleeve, he sent them out in stiff mailers, and then they shook around, and it wore down the edges all around the book, like top and bottom. So boy. All right, and I remember seeing, oh yeah, there's a backup story in number 2, not an ash can. All right, so we got 2 books. This is a thick boy right there. All right, so these are cool. Like, I like these. I have no way of storing them, but I really like them. They're basically trading cards. And see, they got a little bit on the back for each character. Whitaker, Cassandra, Nocturne. I did not know its name. We'll see more of him. And then this. And then after we're done with Whitaker Knox, I'll take you back to the Death's Dream Kingdom campaign, just so we can get a quick glance at it. And I'll show you some things on that. But here we are. So these were really cool. I like. All right, so Whitaker, oh boy, how long ago did I read this? The first book, he's a wizard, plain and simple. And you know what? I deliberately set this up, and now I'm forgetting to do it. Video file. Let's do a quick, waiting for my hard drive to come back. There we go. Let's do this. Unfortunately, it's not available now. These already came out. Or is it? Haha, we'll get to that in a minute. You can get them as add-ons on the current campaign for Death's Dream Kingdom number 2. So if I remember correctly. So we'll find that out in a minute. Yeah, this is number 1. So Whitaker is a wizard of some kind, and he is able to see people's last moments. And I think Randall did a nice job. Very quick and easy. We're just directly introduced to that capability. Whatever this is, covering up his right eye with the eye from there, speaking magic symbols. He actually has a key in one of these books for the magic symbols and how to read them. And then he sees this horrific thing. When I first saw that, it was just like body horror, just ew. So good job. I think that's what you're going for. And what became apparent on reading this is as he reacts during his visions, and sometimes this will happen, he will move around in the room. It's not just all in his head. So anyway, we get introduced to him by that. He gets called out on another job, and then it's a long stretch to get into this room. And you're gonna like this, Mo. As he's trying to get into the room, we get more of his character that he's being haunted by voices, particularly haunted by that guy, the Nocturne. Oh boy. So let's see. Mo, we've got art drawn by human hand. It's like a baby's toy. The art in here is really dark, and I don't mean dark print. I mean the art here is it's gritty without spritz of black ink. It's just gritty. So we get through some of this. They get attacked in the hallway by this man who looks like a burn victim. All right. They shoot him down, and in the apartment where they were called to, where he's pulled onto this call, there is this. Here you go, Mo. This gigantic human compressed nugget thing. Oh. Trying to be haunted by Danny. The whole Danny thing came up in one of my hiatuses where I was away from the indie comics scene for a while. And so I actually know very little about that whole meme. It's just, I know it's the puppet, but so what? So I'm sorry, I'm out of the loop. Anyway, but yeah, your compressed human nugget. Here you go. Looks like a burn victim. Really bad. So it gets us into the story of what's going on here, asking questions, examining, all that kind of thing. And pardon me for being very vague with wrong one. Wait for it to pop up. There we go. I'll explain it after this review if you'd like. Sure. All right. Pardon me for being a little bit vague and just kind of giving a very brief overview. I did read this a while ago, but I enjoyed it. I know it's a Bancroft joke, so it's mainly not funny but popular. Right. Yeah, I'm not missing anything. Okay, it's a Bancroft joke and you're not missing anything. Absolutely go together. I figured that out quite some time ago. All right, so anyway, we get to know Mr. Knox. His first name's Whitaker. And here he is touching the burned, with no gloves, the burned victims, going through torment and visions and whatnot. But he figures out that one of these people is himself. And so he goes to check himself out, as it were, and then just gets pulled into this thing. And that's kind of the end of book one. Skip and Jay were being sarcastic. All right, wait a minute. Yeah, here's the end of book one. Not to spoil it, but oh well, here we are. It's a joke by me, Skip, so it is funny. Oh, okay. Skip and Jay are being sarcastic. Well, yeah, I know that. I'm allowed to be sarcastic with them. My sarcasm is way too flat. It just sounds like I'm serious. So anyway, end of book one. He is in some kind of torment, screaming this symbol here, which is the symbol that's tattooed in the middle of his chest, etc. All right, so book two. Has anybody in class today ever read Slaughterhouse 5 by Kurt Vonnegut? I'm sure you have. You're better read than I am. Here's our compressed human nugget thing again. This whole book, imagine reading it in pieces and trying to go, what the hell's going on? This whole book was like Slaughterhouse 5, but you don't know that's what you're reading right away. So he is falling through. Okay. Well, Mo, you gotta come on, show up. There we go. You don't know what you're missing, Mo. All right. Anyway, he is falling through realities almost, but really it's like a man lost in time. And notice this guy doesn't have an arm now. So what the hell is going on and how did we get here is sort of the theme of the book, but now he's living in the apartment, etc. So was I. Okay, I was serious about this part. I was not. I was sarcastic about that part. So anyway, thank you. Anyway, now he's living in the apartment. So there is a lot of what the hell is going on and how did we get here? And then he's talking, but you later figure out he may not be talking to himself or the audience, quote unquote, as himself. It's a little, things get to be a little unclear, and that's fine. So here's his artificial arm that he puts on. Just nightmares all over the place until finally he meets another version of himself, who in this case is female. All right, so damn, Mo, bring him. I hope I'm not boring or frustrating Randall at all with this brief overview. So he's in the apartment, or it looks like the apartment, and later when he's talking to us again, he says, let's see, pardon me, turn this around. So when he's explaining to us again, I think he's actually explaining to the woman when they're having a civil conversation and not trying to kill each other. He says, but I'm getting off track. As you know, once I was on my feet and I moved in, all I could think about was, hey, do you know about the thin spot in the ceiling, right? Or sorry, you do know about the thin spot in the ceiling, right? Yeah, I'd figured it out by now. That ugly guy over there has been there since the beginning, and it's the nocturne hanging out. So thin spot is oh, okay, cool. Oops, I left that up. Oh, good, Randall. I was wondering if maybe you fell asleep. So a thin spot is some people talk about this in various magic forms or whatever. People who are just into occult or superstitions or whatnot, that between other parts of our world that we don't really see, the veil between the spiritual world and the physical world is thinner, quote unquote, there. And sometimes things leak through, and that's worked its way into popular stories too. So that nocturne is just always looking over him. So I started to get vibes of what's his name, John Constantine here, but a very, very different Constantine. Not a straight ripoff of Constantine at all. And I say at all meaning what little Constantine I've read, what little Hellblazer I've read from DC. All I know is they're both wizards, and this guy is employed by the police rather than freelance like Constantine. And their personalities seem a bit different. So that's the not at all, is the personalities aren't the same to me. Anyway, so we get more of this. And finally, I'm just going to run to the end of this because it says there's a Whitaker Knox #3 coming out. Here we go. Few remaining brain cells also speak of the thin spot in the ceiling. That's why he's got the mohawk. All right, anyway, or had the mohawk. We jump to, and it totally feels like Slaughterhouse-5. How the hell did we get here from him confronting the guy who murdered the girl who's dead on the very beginning of page 1? It's like it started to really mess with my head. Like I wondered if I was confused or if I was skipping a page because I'd fall asleep and then come back and read more the next night. But no, I jumped back a bunch of pages and reread it. And it's like a man going mad, where he's trying to explain to I'm just going to say his boss, it's another detective or officer in the PD, what he sees and what's going on, until finally we get to more explanation. And then the end, we find he is now going vigilante on this dude. And I like the symbolism here of him holding back all these demons who are talking to him and egging him on for the worse, while he's about to attack this guy who, in another version of his life, murdered the girl. Or is it another version? Like, is this a parallel universe? What is this? And we get that answered, by the way. So finally, he and the lady, the other version of him here, and there are multiple versions of him, end up back in the crime scene at the end of book 1, but not the very end of book 1. He's trying to convince himself not to, there we go, good. Time out of order. So somehow he's jumped back in time with her, which is him, a different parallel version of him, to go talk to them at the crime scene to say, don't do the thing you're going to do that set this all off, which was examine his own dead body. And this messed with me so much. And you don't have to answer this. I want this kind of hanging because it's part of the fun. Here, the one with the single arm, to end the discussion. So here's Mr. Single Arm, who's been jumping through time, and then here's the guy who's back in time a bit right there. He actually like just dives into him to show him what he knows, which is I'll get to that in a minute, but Mo, which is like, that's so messed up. Like, it's one of these where you kind of look at it and go, oh, I didn't know they had that power, but I don't get it. So he's merging, and I just have to wonder at the end of this, is this what actually set off the whole merged together crispy nugget human thing, and not him being on this timeline that's all mixed up because this version of him used his power to talk to the dead, or to view the dead on the merged crispy nugget thing. Like did he really do this all to himself and it's just stuck? And it's like, well, then how does he get out of it, and who is he now when these are merged? So I wasn't unsatisfied. And when you're left with questions like that, you get unsatisfied by an ending. No, I thought this was like cool. So I thought this was really neat. And somewhere else I saw that there was going to be a Whitaker Knox number 3. Now let's see it real quick. In loving memory of Russell Ray Rozzell, thank you for always believing me. You were my real hero in life. I'm going to presume that's a dad, or perhaps an uncle if I'm wrong. From 1941 to 2021, May to July. So there we are. So for Russell. And then Randall was generous enough to give us a backup story in black and white. It's just a different adventure of Whitaker's, a little more horror, and let you. Okay. I'm happy that it's meeting with your head. Good, cool. And I'm not put off by. I mean, sometimes the questions can be unsatisfying, but this was just kind of cool at the end. Going, if he started the cycle on himself, then the next time he falls through the cycle, what is he going to know, and what is he going to do, and what, so that's kind of exciting. So that those questions, like how, and I think I kind of did the application thing, like how would I handle that if I just started the cycle and then had to view my own death to figure out not to view my own death? What would I say instead without restarting the cycle the next time? Anyway, so this is he almost gets killed along with the detective, but they survive and emergency vehicles are coming. And then we're given some bonus material. So there we are. Meeting. Oh, you meant messing. Sorry. Happy that is messing with my head. Yes. Okay, cool. We get a little bit of bonus materials, and I thought that the cards were pretty cool too. So there we are. That's Whitaker Knox. Here's his alphabet. If there isn't going to be a number 3, I'm looking forward to it. Okay, what do we got here from Mo? He says, it needs only to meet his head. After introductions are made, Blue's brain can take care of the rest. Hey, if I make a bad assumption, it can lead off in really, really bad directions. So, okay. Sorry, need water. All right, so to close out the stream, I don't know where my file is for my closing bit. So I am going to share a screen with, let's see, share screen on what window? I have to have the window open, and it's this one again. Yes, here we are. All right, this is I'm not going to do a full tutorial on backing things in Kickstarter because most people here are accustomed to Indiegogo, but no, I am not logged in, so that's good. Oh, he's under the duck. Oh, you can't see that. It doesn't change. Okay. He's under the duck, so you can't quite tell. But I'm not logged in. This has 6 days to go. I meant to do this last week, Randall. Sorry. So this gets us Death's Dream Kingdom number 2, which has a whole bunch of preview pages here. So I just want to look real quick. Got to switch windows now. Present. Stop sharing. Oh, whoa. I clicked something. Present, share screen, window, that one. No, sure. Okay, so we've got more pages here. I just thought I'd show them this way, so they're a little bit bigger than on the campaign, I hope. If I need to zoom in, I can. So here we get that's not going to work. My window's hanging off the edge of the screen. There we go. Yeah, there we are. So I like this, how for whatever reason, which I'll find out when I read it, we're getting a silhouette of a city here cut in negative space where the positive space is the buildings. and that's inverted and paralleled at the bottom here artistically, where the negative space are the buildings. That's a nice thing there. Why it's there, I'll find out when I get to read the book. So this is more of that AI art, and there's that. So I wonder if after reading this preview page, we're getting more narration from Jessica, and she's talking about her journey on this living ship, and everyone else is asleep, how that all goes. So there's Zed again, a little bit more. And she starts hearing things while she's working. I think I got the pages out of order. Oh, yeah, I did. No, maybe I didn't. Anyway, so here she is on the ship. She starts hearing things while she's working, and then it's revealed to her that this thing is around, and it is killing everybody. But just from the preview pages, the little spoiler we don't quite get. Oh, yeah, these are in the correct order. As she goes to attack it, and then there's We Are Endless. And this is a nice presentation right there of the two faces. And this is where the preview ends. Is she having a nightmare, or is this real? Like, okay, thanks for the preview. I want to read the book now. I hope that this is a larger series, not just two pieces like Whitaker Knox was, a setup and a knockdown. I'm looking forward to a little bit more. I hope that's not pressure or anything like that, but I would appreciate this series going on a little bit longer, because it is cool. Like, I want more of it. It's like when some people finish reading Lord of the Rings and it's 4 issues. Oh, wonderful. Okay, cool. And they say at the end of Lord of the Rings, it wasn't long enough. So, don't share that one. Which is it? Yeah, it's that one. Okay, so here, when you're backing on Kickstarter, I want you to notice something real quick. You get told the number of backers who have taken this particular perk, and then you get the number of add-ons here. Knox is going to be a 5-issue series. I'm hoping 3 will come out later this year. Awesome. Cool. All right, so the perk tells you what's in it, of course, things like that. He has a sticker pack going, and without going through all the perks right off, he's got 3 different covers, so we can look at those right. Seasickness. Here we go. Oh, he has some things. Let's see what it says in here. A preview of Death's Dream Kingdom book number 1 was featured in an AI magazine called RX Machina, with a cover and AI story designed by the great Dave McKeon. I heard Dave McKeon talking about AI art a little while back. I'm not fond of AI art in particular, but you did something different with it. So I don't think AI art can truly replace the human element. And even then, when they finally say, "Oh, it finally did," well, you guys were programming it to. So there's that. We got some praise for Whitaker Knox. Here we go. Covers. So here are your covers for number 2. There's that one. Here's another one for you. So we've got the character montage going on, which implies that some of these characters might be alive because they're on the cover. So, and then there's her. This is just creepy as heck. How long did that cover take you? Man. And then this style. A lot of people like this style. It's not exactly me, but I do know people like it, so I'm not going to disparage it or anything dumb like that. And then is there anything else below here? Okay, and then you get your perks down there. Stickers. So cool sticker over here with the black and white one, like that. And yeah, I like the rainbow one too. All right, so where I want to go with this, just before I sign off, we'll pick a perk. And when you see these perks, it tells you how many backers there are on that particular perk. I'm just picking one randomly. That's a digital perk. Should not do that. No, digital is fine if you want to buy it, but okay, here we go. I need a physical perk for what I'm showing. 20 backers have gotten this physical perk, and there's a little green tag that says it has add-ons available within it. Now, if a perk is limited, you'll both get how many people have it, and then it'll say, I think the tag is usually pink or salmon. It'll have another tag down here saying how many are left out of. Like, so it'll say 20 backers, it'll say 20 remaining out of 40 or something like that. So you go into a perk. First, it picks your country. There you go, US. Because where's my VPN? Yeah, it's in the US right now. Okay. And then your pledge amount, it says 19. So that's 12 for the price and your shipping, which is pre-programmed in, and then go away. And then 19 is the total. So continue, because people really aren't familiar with Kickstarter, especially with add-ons. The main perk is here at the top, and you always want to check for that read more, because I don't know why Kickstarter does that. And on each of these add-ons, you get read more. So notice our $19 is still down here at the bottom. And if I pick an add-on, like in this one, now I have this split over my 2 monitors so I can see stuff. 2 sticker pack, $3. Okay. So here's the $3, and it updates the total at the bottom with your shipping. So your shipping's already in here in the total, and you can just scroll up. You can just add them up yourself from there. And he does have, as I think in Kickstarter, whatever group of add-ons you do seems to apply to every perk that is physical. All right. And as you can see, he has copies of Whitaker Knox in here for $10 each, along with t-shirts and other stuff going on. Oh, I did not see that before. Okay. Anyway, so we have a week left, and this is a very brief tutorial on Kickstarter for where to look for the key things. You want to look for that read more to always find out, double check what's in there. There was one campaign, I forget what it was, where I backed, and then I did add-ons for, like that. And then I went back and reread, and I was already getting a digital copy. So I had to go down, and you can trash can out. In the case of that other campaign, it was a digital copy because it's already included in the perk I was getting. So read your details, use your read more button. Your total always comes up at the bottom. And then when you continue, if you have your credit card information in there in Kickstarter already, it'll just make you check a box that says, I know this is not a store, it's not shopping, it's backing, etc. And then you go. So let's see. It's a tribute to OG Read More. Thanks, Mo. Anyway, and because I'm not signed in, I can't show you the finalization process there. But I think those are the key things to look for, is if it's limited, if it has add-ons, make sure you're in a physical perk, and then you go through these, it'll have the total at the bottom. Nice and easy. And so if you want to get Whitaker Knox, it's still there on the screen. All right. That's it for me for tonight. Thanks for sticking with me, guys. Stop screen. Yeah, I hope any last jokes before we go. I appreciate y'all stopping by. Let's see, we've been going, feels like an hour. It's probably not. Oh, an hour and 12. Cool. Yeah, I appreciate y'all sticking with me. I got a lot out of these books in terms of enjoyment. I'm normally not into horror, so I'm really learning more about horror. And if you don't know me well enough, I do a lot of this reading and reviewing is actually me as I learn, because there's a lot I don't know about writing and stuff. And so as I learn, I do my reviews. There you go. All right. Oh yeah, it's Randall's birthday on the 11th. So everybody wish Randall a happy birthday, please, before we go. And I'm going to try and find, please be on my desktop, where is the closing video that I always show. I got to work on my videos. My intro and closing are in terrible shape. Where is my closing video? It's not here. Well, happy birthday, Randall. I'm glad I could make your birthday for you. Get some sleep. I don't know how late it is where you are. And I don't have a closing video. Oh, I know. I moved it to Drive J. That's why. I bet it's in here. Yes, here it is. Okay. It's got to load. Drive has to spin up. Happy birthday. Everybody sleep tight. You're welcome.